When fame and love collide, the result is rarely quiet. In the case of Yaman and Demet Özdemir, their story has been anything but silent. For years, fans have followed their journey, on-screen chemistry that felt too real, whispers of an off-screen romance, heartbreaking distance, and the countless rumors that never seemed to end. But now, the story has taken a turn that no one saw coming, a song. Not just any song, but one filled with pain, longing, and words that cut deeper than any interview or gossip headline could. The song's haunting title, Avid is Left in My Hands, already carries the weight of heartbreak. It suggests something incomplete, something fragile that slipped through fingers no matter how hard one tried to hold on. And when fans heard that Yaman himself had dedicated it to Demet Özdemir, the world of celebrity gossip went into overdrive. Could this really be his way of breaking the silence? Was this song his confession, his apology, or his farewell? For those who know their history, the idea of pouring his emotions into a song makes perfect sense. He has always been a man of intensity, his fiery career choices, his bold public appearances, and his unpredictable moves in love. But behind that confident exterior lies someone who, like everyone else, has been wounded. And with Demet, the wounds were deeper than anyone realized. The lyrics, which quickly circulated among fans, spoke of betrayal, regret, and a love that still lingers despite everything. One line in particular broke hearts: "I thought love was ours forever, but now all I hold is silence." To many, this was more than poetry. It was a confession. A raw acknowledgement that he had lost something irreplaceable, and that the silence between him and Demet still haunted him. When the song leaked online, social media erupted. Hashtags with both their names trended worldwide. Fans created emotional edits, pairing the song with old clips of Can and Demet smiling together, laughing on set, or exchanging tender glances that once made the world believe in their story. Suddenly, it wasn't just a song, it was a soundtrack to a love story that millions had invested their hearts in. And Demet? While she has yet to publicly respond, her silence only adds fuel to the fire. Every Instagram post, every subtle caption is now dissected by fans searching for hidden meanings. Did she hear the song? Did it touch her heart? Or did it only remind her of wounds too deep to reopen? For Can, however, the message is clear. He chose music as his weapon, his shield, and his confession. And whether or not Demet answers, the world has already heard what he truly feels: regret mixed with love, sorrow mixed with hope. Avid is Left in My Hands isn't just a song, it's an emotional letter, a final attempt to reach her in the only way he knows how. The reaction to Yaman's emotional song was nothing short of explosive. Within hours of Avid is Left in My Hands hitting the internet, fan pages dedicated to both Can and Demet lit up with speculation. Some believed the song was his way of begging for forgiveness, others thought it was a veiled confession that he could never move on. No matter the interpretation, one truth was clear: the song reopened old wounds that many thought had long been buried. What made the song so powerful wasn't just the lyrics, but the vulnerability in his voice. Yaman, often seen as untouchable and larger than life, sounded raw and human. The deep, husky tone carried cracks of pain that words alone could never express. "Music reveals the truth the mouth cannot say," one fan tweeted, sharing a clip of the chorus. And in that moment, it felt as if Can had finally spoken after years of silence. The chorus, which repeated the heartbreaking phrase "I hold on, but love slips away," struck a chord not only with Demet's fans but with anyone who had ever experienced heartbreak. The universality of pain gave the song wings, spreading it far beyond Turkey and Italy, reaching international audiences who may not have even known the full story of Can and Demet but who could still feel the emotion pouring through every note. Entertainment outlets quickly picked up the story. Headlines screamed across tabloids: Yaman's hidden message to Demet Özdemir revealed through song. Others questioned whether the song was truly about her or simply a piece of art that fans had latched onto. But the timing, the lyrics, and the history between them left little doubt in the minds of those who had followed their journey from the beginning. For Demet, the silence continued. She posted pictures from a new project, smiling, looking radiant, but fans noticed the comments under every photo were now flooded with references to Can's song. Have you listened to it yet? Demet, please forgive him. This song is for you. Her social media had become a battlefield where fans projected their own hopes for reconciliation. Behind the glamour, those close to her hinted that the song had indeed reached her ears. An anonymous source claimed Demet was quiet when she first heard it. She didn't cry, but you could see the emotions in her eyes. She's stronger now, but that doesn't mean the memories don't come rushing back. That single statement was enough to send fans spiraling into theories. Was she touched? Was she angry? Was she secretly still in love? Can, on the other hand, remained silent after the song's release. No interviews, no clarifications, no denials. Just the song itself, left to speak on his behalf. And perhaps that was the point. After all, words can be denied, twisted, or forgotten, but music has a way of lingering in the heart long after the sound has faded. For many, Avid is Left in My Hands wasn't just a song, it was the closure they had been waiting for, or maybe the beginning of a new chapter no one saw coming. As the days passed, the impact of Avid is Left in My Hands only grew stronger. It wasn't just fans who were moved, critics, musicians, and even celebrities began to comment on Yaman's unexpected vulnerability. For someone who had always been seen as a tough, confident figure, opening his heart through music shocked many. "This is not the Kim we're used to," one well-known journalist wrote. "This is a man stripped of his armor, letting the world hear his pain." Every verse of the song seemed to peel back another layer of their history. The references were subtle, but for fans who knew the story of Can and Demet inside out, they were unmistakable. There was a line about late nights waiting for a call that never came, a painful reminder of the rumors that Demet had once waited by her phone, hoping for Can to reach out, only to be met with silence. Another lyric spoke of eyes that once promised forever but turned away, which fans immediately linked to photos of Demet at red carpet events, looking radiant while Can's gaze seemed distant. The speculation wasn't only about what the lyrics meant but also why Can had chosen to release this song now. Was it guilt? Was it longing? Or was it simply timing, perhaps triggered by seeing Demet move on, succeed, and shine brighter than ever? After all, Demet had been making bold moves in her career, starring in high-profile projects and earning respect not just as a beauty but as a serious actress. To many, it looked like she had left Kim behind, while he was the one haunted by the past. Fan theories flooded forums and comment sections. Some believed this was Can's indirect way of apologizing, of admitting his faults without having to say the words publicly. Others argued that it was a plea, a desperate attempt to remind Demet of the connection they once shared. And then there were those who believed it was his way of finally letting go, of turning their love into art so he could move forward. Whatever the truth, the effect was undeniable. The song climbed trending charts, with fans replaying it again and again, dissecting every line, every note, every pause. Edits of Can and Demet together, set to the melody, went viral on TikTok and Instagram, often paired with captions like "they were meant to be" or "some stories never end." The younger generation of fans, many of whom weren't even old enough to watch their original series when it first aired, discovered their story through this song, and once again, the legend of Can and Demet was reborn. Meanwhile, Demet's silence became more meaningful with each passing day. Every smile in her photos, every subtle glance in her interviews was analyzed. Was she ignoring him? Was she secretly listening to the song on repeat? Was she angry that he used music to expose their private story? The mystery of her reaction only deepened the fascination. For Can, the choice of music wasn't random. He had often been seen as a man who expressed himself through grand gestures, lavish gifts, bold statements, or dramatic actions. But this song was different. It was quiet, personal, almost private, yet made public in the most vulnerable way possible. And in that contradiction lay its power. It was both a confession and a performance, both a letter to Demet and a message to the world. By the fourth week after its release, Avid is Left in My Hands was no longer just a song. It had become a cultural moment. Turkish and Italian media debated its meaning on morning shows, and entertainment programs played it on loop while panelists argued. Was this a public apology to Demet, or simply clever publicity? The debate only amplified the song's power, and Can's name was once again dominating headlines, not because of a scandal or paparazzi photos, but because of raw emotion poured into music. The irony was not lost on fans. Yaman, often criticized for being too strong, too fiery, too proud, had chosen the most delicate and vulnerable medium to express himself. And that vulnerability struck a nerve, because everyone could imagine Demet listening to those lyrics in the quiet of the night, perhaps with tears in her eyes, perhaps with anger, or maybe even with a bittersweet smile. One particular performance clip, allegedly leaked from a private rehearsal, sent the internet into meltdown. In it, Can's voice cracked on the line, "I reach for you, but emptiness is all I find." That single crack, that single imperfection, became the proof fans needed to believe the song was authentic, heartfelt, and directed straight at Demet. The world wanted her answer, but Demet remained composed. She neither confirmed nor denied anything. Instead, she kept working, posting behind-the-scenes clips from her latest project. But even in her silence, she held the upper hand. Her name was trending alongside his, her photos were everywhere, and her strength in not reacting made her appear even more powerful. In a strange twist, Can's song, though aimed at her, ended up elevating her image even higher in the public eye. For Can, however, the act of releasing the song may have been less about strategy and more about survival. Sometimes, when words are too heavy to say out loud, when pride prevents a man from kneeling and apologizing, music becomes the last refuge. And for Can, that refuge was not about selling records but about making peace with himself. In the end, Avid Is Left in My Hands became more than a song, it became a chapter in the never-ending saga of Yaman and Demet Özdemir. A chapter written not with interviews or tabloid gossip, but with melody and pain. For fans, it was confirmation that their story, no matter how fractured, still lived in the hearts of both. Whether Demet ever responds may not even matter. Because the truth is already out there, carried in Can's trembling voice, carved into lyrics that speak of betrayal, regret, and a love that refuses to die quietly. His silence had lasted for years, but now, through music, he had finally spoken. And the world listened. For Demet, this song will always remain, whether as a haunting reminder or a bittersweet gift, from a man who once held her heart and perhaps still does. For Can, it was both confession and closure, a way to turn personal heartbreak into something universal. And for the millions who witnessed it, the song will forever be tied to their story, a story of love, betrayal, silence, and the power of truth expressed through music. Because in the end, no matter how much is lost, one thing remains clear: love, even when broken, leaves echoes. And sometimes, those echoes are best heard in a song.